Hi family, namaste. It's Lila and I'm in the forest, and recently again I've been listening more, especially in the forest. And today I want to share a few key elements of what deep listening looks like in community and what this whole idea of co-creation looks like, with just a few tips or skill sharing concepts. So, a phrase that's super important in this art of co-creation is yes and. Sometimes it's easy to say no, but my idea, or no, but this is what we're focusing on. And a really good way to keep a continuously harmonious exchange is to say yes, and I'd like to offer this contribution. So we're stacking our wisdom, tuning to find the most harmonic, unified answer. So a little fun phrase, yes and, can be so powerful, can be so uniting. Something else really important in co-creation is when you come into a space in community or just with another, are you present and grounded in your being? Or are you immediately walking into the space and taking on the energy or the energetics of that space? And it's important that we take a deep breath, maybe even before entering the space, and ground and come into our body, so we come fully present and we can bring our gifts rather than just attracting the energy of the field and losing ourself in it. And it's really important. Another powerful concept is the art of inquiry. So really asking questions to allow for a genius to rise, allow for the genius to be heard. And in that allowance, giving space for that. Some people are really quick processors and they're going to just have all the answers right away, or think they have the answers, right? Meanwhile, some of the most wise answers might be subtly laying underneath the surface, not able to be expressed or overshadowed. So it's really important that not only do we ask powerful questions, but then we provide the space for all of the genius to be heard. So another really important piece. Number one, yes and. Number two, keeping your own grounded presence when coming into a community space and navigating this space with all of your senses rather than the assumptions or judgments or expectations of what you're bringing in. Number three is allowing for others' unique voices to be heard, so giving that time and space, and creating a culture of active listening, of seeing that everyone in the room is a child and an elder, is a teacher and a student, and that everyone has something perfectly divine in that moment to offer, even if it's an opinion that's triggering. And that's again where we might say yes and we work in that field and we trust in the perfection of whatever wants to come to the surface. It's really important these days that all of us that have been cultivating mastery forever, all of us that are coming with deep skills and talents and wisdoms about how to move humanity, help humanity and the earth transition towards a time of greater harmony, a time we came for. It's really important that we create these fields of harmonic, unified listening. And so we're allowing that greater genius to come through us rather than, the Dalai Lama has often said that this time is not about one avatar rising, but about a community of bodhisattvas coming together in co-creation. Just like if you are a magnificent lightworker or healer in your own right, and yet you're still just in your home and serving your clients by yourself, might you find even a greater genius if you were to hub and network and connect with other light workers and form alliances and tribes that then can connect for more activism and more effectual and spiritual change on the planet. So that's what I was listening in the forest today and just feeling into some of that as I see this ecosystem and the co-creation of what is here, and listening to the birds and feeling that power of listening and creating space for that. It's super simple, but this is what helps us come into unity consciousness, where we might say, okay, our intention is that we're serving the highest mutual benefit for all, that this is what I'm intending every day, and that's a great foundational shared vision for everyone to come to the table with. Just that however I be and do, that it's in service for the highest good. But then after we say that, what does that look like on the next level? And what does it look like in the details of me actually being present with my body language and eye contact with you? What does that look like in the day-to-day moment? Like a phrase like yes, and the simplicity of these, I like to call it co-creation technology, so that we walk in a community or in a family, in a business, and all we're reflecting is genius. We're saying, yes, we have this higher vision together, shared, and my presence and my being is to reflect your highest. So how can we create systems or guidelines or shared agreements, foundational awarenesses, so each of us feels safe to shine our brilliance? And then that's that field we're creating, and that's how we are that community bodhisattva, rising together in shared co-creation as we're dream awakening, as we're creating this world that we know is possible because we are part of the grand creation. We know we came for something fantastic, and that it was time in this cycle we would enact this. So we get to play the roles now of rising and being in that field of harmony, and being it now. So we're carrying that harmony and that unified co-creation with us in every step of the way. And that's what we're facilitating as we walk through space. And it's really big as we shift away from these cultures of competition and fear and separation, as we're moving into cultures of connectivity and co-creation and lifting each other up. As we, and then my phone just popped off. That must be the end.